Welcome to the Minsan Football Show presented by Upstream Sports TV. My name is Jing Hamlang and I will be your host this evening. It is a full cast today. It's been a long time since that has happened. We are complete, folks. To my left, we have Natasha Alquiros Deito, we've got Diego Cordero, and we've got Claro Manzano. Fantastic. It feels great, guys. Finally, no AFC duty, no absences, everybody together. So it's going to be a very, very interesting show today.
I felt
Plenty
that.
to talk about.
Yeah, I felt that too. Mga laging absent.
Isang tao lang pala. Alright. Plenty to talk about. And we're back here to break down another weekend of PFL football, of course, as well as to preview the matches that are taking place this coming weekend. And again, we will have the Minsan Football Show whenever there are matches. So, another one this week. But for next week, there will be no PFL matches. So this might be the last Minsan Football Show before the international break. Very, very sad, guys. I feel you. I feel you. We'll miss you as well. But the Philippines will be taking on Maldives. So we will be talking a little bit about that at the end of the show. All right. But shout out to the teams who own the jerseys behind us. Guys, we thank you so much for sending over your merch. We've still got 6 that we'd like to invite out here so you could join this array of beautiful jerseys here in the PFL. But thank you to Kaya, thank you to Stallion, thank you to Tuloy, thank you to Dynamic Herb Cebu, as well as Aguilas UMAC FC. We appreciate you guys very much, very much. All right. But before anything else, we'd like to thank our drinks partner, Thirst. Kick off with savings this football season. Visit the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screens for special discounts. Thirst is the Philippines' only beverage marketplace. Download the Thirst app today wherever you get your apps. Now, to open this episode, we want to first and foremost invite everyone again to support the FIFA Women's Futsal World Cup, which is being hosted right here in the Philippines. Right, taking place at the Phil Sports Arena. It starts off on the 21st of November, and the Philippines will have a match on opening night. That is at 8:30 p.m. We take on Poland on the 21st, then we take on Morocco on the 24th, and we will be playing Argentina on the 27th. All of those matches will be at 8:30 p.m. The full tournament will be taking place from the 21st of November to December 7. Malay mo, makapasok tayo sa later rounds, di ba? Anything is possible. The ticket details are very simple. There are 3 categories. I'm going to round it out so it's easy for you guys, all right? And it's easy for me. Category 1 of the premium seating is 1,400. Category 2 is 700, and the Cat 3 are 500, okay? All of those tickets are available on FIFA.com/tickets. 1 ticket is good for the entire day, okay? So if you just want to sit around and watch futsal all day, we invite you to do so, okay? We're definitely welcome to do that. Now that is out of the way, and we do hope that you will join us over there at the Phil Sports Arena. It's time now to talk about the PFL games we had last weekend. And just to remind everybody, all the highlight videos and the videos on demand are available at youtube.com/@wearepfl. And make sure to check them out, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of our content. All right? Plenty of games. We are going to be talking about Garelli versus Kaya, which was a one-sided affair. We've got Maharlika and Taguig, which was a very tightly contested match. And we've got Aguilas and Cebu, with one team in particular sending a message to the rest of the cast in the PFL. But a few days prior to our PFL matches, I just wanted to touch very quickly so we can get everybody involved here, was the match that happened on Wednesday night with the Filipinas playing host to Uzbekistan at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. It's nice to be able to see the Filipinas back in action at home. A decent crowd turned out at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. May pa-concert pa dun sa Manila, no? So it was quite an affair. But Natasha, you had the pleasure of calling that game alongside Mariel Benitez Havillana, which is pretty cool to see 2 of you as former national team players now, calling the match for the current generation. I'm sure you enjoyed that experience. But what can you say about the performance of the team? We were 2-0 up and then lost a 2-goal advantage to settle for a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I'd say a lot to unpack in that game, but you have to give it to the Filipinas. They started really strong. They put on that high press right away and took advantage of the first few minutes just when Uzbekistan couldn't really settle in the match just yet and were able to convert quickly. In the second half, same thing, started really strong. And you notice it also towards the end of the first half and the same thing towards the end of the second half. That's when Uzbekistan really got into the match, and that's how they eventually got the 2 goals. I'd say a bit disappointing. It was a great game. Great game nonetheless, 50-50. It really could have gone either side. But I feel that if we had enough players on our bench that we could have brought to the game, especially when the wingers were getting so tired, then the game we could have kept not only the 2 goals, but we could have even added more despite Uzbekistan being able to score those 2 goals against us. So I feel that when you call up players, make sure that you call up enough players, especially attacking players.
Right. So felt like a bit light maybe in reinforcements off the bench. Fellas, your thoughts on it as a spectacle, as a form of entertainment for the casuals. Was it? Did it deliver for you guys?
Yeah, go ahead, Jags. I can. Bottom line, masakit. Sayang.
Yeah.
It's a friendly. So yes, coach can make calculated risk, but at the end of the day, you want to bag these results because whatever you're showing now, that's gonna give you your trajectory heading into the next big tournament. There's the Women's Asian Cup, and we were talking about it. My SEA Games, right? So it's not a good way to, just what seems like the last friendly.
Right.
Heading into things. But let's look at the other side. It's good it happened now, so that the team could address these chinks in the armor. But you always want to see a win.
But
Come
we
on.
say that every time. We've been playing the same
You always
system for
wanna-
almost a year now.
You wanna
and we
see
say
a win
this
every
every time.
Yeah.
I can see that you're trying your best to try to be very, very, to land it lightly.
Two-sided.
But I can see that you're very disappointed about it.
Yep.
Diego, do you share in the sentiment of this is possibly the last friendly before the SEA Games? Was it enough for you? Are you excited about what we're going to be bringing to one of the biggest tournaments? I mean, for Filipinos, the SEA Games is a big deal, right? So that's a major tournament for us. So are you happy with what you saw there?
Well, happy with parts of it, but I think when you're 2-0 up in a football match, you should always see it out, ideally. But you know what they say, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. But again, it was the last part of the match, the final third of the whole match, where I just felt that the Philippines were second best, which it's a friendly, so we're not gonna get too punished. But similar things can't happen in the SEA Games, because if similar things do happen in the SEA Games, it's a bigger punishment. Good performances though from Chandler McDaniel and Serrano, who got the goals. I really like their performances. They were especially Meryl Serrano. Her second goal was excellent, and good crowd turnout and great concert. So I was happy in general with what we saw that night.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see a musical performance at the Rizal Memorial Stadium on short notice, to see Mayonnaise out there. I saw a lot of videos on social media of people just sticking around and really enjoying themselves, and like they couldn't believe that there's this thing that's going on at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. It might become a staple. What do you guys think?
I hope so.
Let's go.
I hope so. It was such a vibe, like being there, having bands play, not just at the end of the game, but even during halftime. It was such a vibe. And that's what we want to bring when you come to a stadium, that it's not just the game, but you make it a whole experience, an unforgettable experience.
Everything is developing, the football on the pitch, as well as the spectacle off of the pitch. That's amazing. So, all right, you've heard from
What's your take?
everybody. No, I'm the host here. All right? I was watching from a distance, and I have my reservations about the performance. Of course, you're preparing for a big tournament. You'd like to see, glimpses of what to expect in the coming tournament. And right now, what a lot of people left with was this feeling of we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen, right? So I'm with the rest of you guys, right? Which is this feeling of uncertainty. And if you are okay with that, then that you're okay with it. I wish there was a little bit more certainty heading into such a big tournament. That's just me. All right, let's talk about the PFL now. 3 games over the course of the weekend. Of course, there was a holiday on the 1st of November, but the action came right back, and it came roaring back on the 2nd of November with a triple header at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. It started off with a blowout, and can't say anybody was really surprised by this one, right? But Garelli United were blown out by Kaya FC Iloilo. Perhaps the most surprising aspect of this result, and the reason that I'm quite disappointed actually, is that because my prediction said 7-0, I believe, right? But
Sorry, Jing.
Don Bosco Garelli United able to score against Kaya FC Iloilo. Anybody surprised by this? Of course, the one-sided affair. I think everybody here that sat on this couch felt that maybe Kaya would walk away in a one-sided victory. But what can you say about the performance? Any surprises in this one, Natasha?
I guess it's just more on the performance of Kaya, that despite being able to rotate the squad, they were still able to get not only the result, but still implement the same style of play. Which wasn't exactly the same case when they did rotate their squad going against Taguig. But for this matchup, you could say that it's a good performance for them, and it gives them their confidence back coming into their next game.
2 goals from Marvin Angeles. I believe Mike Ott was back on the score sheet. Hit me with a...
Rota was able to
Simone
score as
Rota,
well.
scoring goals at... how old is Simone Rota now?
40s?
Yeah.
Maybe 39, I'm not sure. You shouldn't say the big 4-0 unless you're sure.
No, but Simone Rota, it feels like he's part of the furniture of the Philippines Football League, and it's amazing to see him on the score sheet once again. Martini Ray was on the score sheet. Lucas Del Rosario, his first goal of the season. So, you know, a lot of positives for everybody who are able to grow their confidence in this one. Claro, surprised at all that Don Bosco Garelli or Diego, that Don Bosco Garelli were able to find the back of the net, considering that Kaya had only conceded 1 goal in the entirety of the first round?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be really disappointed not having that clean sheet, especially after losing and conceding their first of the season. But to be fair, actually, I thought it was a good goal also from Don Bosco. It was a really good header.
Yeah.
And from where I was sitting, it looped over the goalkeeper. It was a nice goal to look at, actually. I was sitting beside some Kaya people, and they weren't too happy, but it was a good goal, in my opinion. In the end of the day, though, Kaya just took control of this match. They'll be disappointed, but I think they'll move on quickly. It was 7-0, 7-1 at the end of the day.
Nathan Bata will be a little disappointed by that one, but another goalkeeper made the headlines in that one. A return after many, many days away from the football pitch. 316, I believe it was, days since his injury that took place in Indonesia. I was a very unfortunate incident that happened very early in the Mitsubishi Electric Cup. Anybody would like to comment on the return of one Patrick Dato? Anybody at all?
I think let's go to Claro. Let's go to Claro.
Claro, your thoughts?
It was great. It was great. I've seen, of course, they've been ramping up Patrick Dato. You know, it's not like, oh, you're fit, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I get to see, even when I'm on AFC duty, right? He's taking part in the training sessions. And it just so happens, like, we're on the ground floor and the players are on the second floor, but we get to see the gym. They've been ramping up Patrick also with the entire staff. And it's great after the injury, and you know, obviously, you want to see him with the national team. Unfortunately, that's where he got hurt. So, yeah, he's an icon for Philippine football.
Yeah. Natasha, how does it feel to see Patrick back on the pitch?
Well, I think I've shared this as well, because I was covering with Claro, and I honestly choked up. Like, of course, like, it means a lot to see him as well, you know, I feel that he belongs back on that pitch. It's one of the, I guess, the blueprints as well for Philippine local football, who have made that pathway to be able to play abroad as well. So it was good to see him back on the pitch. And I don't know, I feel like I'm in a really awkward spot here where I really try to put aside personal feelings and just feelings as a commentator or as I sit in this spot. So yeah, it was a lot of emotions that flowed in, but I'm just really happy that he's back to doing what he's meant to be doing.
Right? Welcome back, Patrick Dato. We're all happy that you're back on the pitch, and we look forward to seeing your performances for the rest of the Philippines Football League and hopefully the national team as well. All right, next one is Maharlika versus One Taguig, one of the most highly anticipated matches heading into this weekend's contests. And wow, did it deliver for you, Diego?
Well, scoreline-wise, maybe it didn't, but the intensity of the match was really high. There were multiple fights. It's inevitable, really, when you have two passionate teams. But I think One Taguig will be really happy now that they've found this formula in big games. It's like a 5 at the back system that transforms to 3 at the back when they have the ball. It's worked against Kaya, it's worked against Maharlika now. That is a really good 2-game run where they kept a clean sheet against two of the top teams in the PFL. For Maharlika, there were a spell in that first half, I could say, where it felt like they could take control of the match. They were having possession, forcing One Taguig back, although One Taguig, they have players who are used to being under pressure like that, and they prevailed at the end. I don't think Maharlika should be too worked up about this result because while they haven't won a big game yet, you can see that they're competing. And I think out of context, people might forget actually that a season ago, this result would have been so different.
Yeah.
But they kept it so close. They've kept it close against Aguilas. They've kept it close against Manila Digger. They even took the lead in that match. So Maharlika is a team that, if you're a big team in the PFL, you're probably saying, I don't really want to play against them because it's going to be tough to get the victory.
I think the previous result was 3-0, and then there was like a 5-0 in favor of One Taguig. So, I mean, to bridge the gap to make it a 1-0 result against One Taguig, I would say is a testament to the development that Maharlika has had. But One Taguig, very, very quietly, after dropping a result against Manila Digger, are looking like title contenders as of the moment. Was the performance equivalent to that sort of tag that's being placed on them now, because they're second in the table and they're within touching distance of Kaya FC Iloilo? Was it a performance of a title contender, Natasha?
Definitely, 100%. I think that, as Diego mentioned, the tweaks that they made for that Kaya game and continued on to this game, having Forzuelo playing at that center back role. For some reason, the tweak in there of him now starting playing that center back and playing 3 in the back, that has worked for them. Having Mark Hartman, Mark Hartman, you hear this all the time. He's such a player who's super technically gifted. But to be able to tap him to his full potential and to see him be able to play, I think, one of his best footballs lately. And I feel that's something, that's what Scott Cooper, that's what he brings to the table, being able to unlock the potential of the players that he has available to him. Sato getting an assist in that game, Reichelt being just reliable up on top. Every time he had the ball, he's able to either create a chance or send it on out, connecting to another player. So to be able to have players like Kiki, like Hartman, and former national team players, and still to be able to unlock whatever's left in them and maybe still bring them to another level that, who knows, could get called up once again down the line. I think that One Taguig, after their performance against Manila Digger, able to tactically be able to quickly change things up. Again, another strength that I see with the side of Coach Scott Cooper is that they're so fluid in their system, that they're not set on just one style of play, and they're able to adjust depending on who they're playing against. And this system so far has worked in back-to-back games. And Kupic having, of course, a goalkeeper as well that he didn't have to do much, but when called upon, able to make the big saves. So his players playing really well plays a factor as well into the system that he's trying to make them play.
Glowing review of One Taguig and the adjustments that they've made. What stood out to you in that contest, Claro?
Well,
Or who,
bottom line,
if anything?
the intensity. These are the games you look forward to, like, as a Philippine football fan. It's, yes, okay, talented you want Taguig, but you don't expect them to go, okay, they're a strong team on paper, they're gonna win every game, 5-0, 5-0,
Yeah,
or 3-0.
right.
It's not like that. They're gonna have to earn it. I mean, I'm not, to add to like what Natasha's saying and what you guys were saying, Maharlika's not that sure 3 points, right? So you love that whoever is gonna get that win, they're gonna have to really grind it out. And sometimes you have a team, oh, they're strong in paper. they're only gonna deliver when they're against a team that's inferior. Well, not this with Taguig. They'll show you, of course, high stakes game, or if you could just imagine if it were a knockout game, they're gonna compete all the way. So that's what I liked also. Maharlika, continuing to show us that they can compete kahit papano. Like, yes, they haven't really won the games against the highly touted teams, but there's so many close ones where they were decided by all these small moments here and there. In another universe, maybe they'd be in the higher end of the standings. Yeah,
Fine
that's what
margins.
I liked.
Fine margins. We hope a speedy recovery for Jarrell Aristorenas. It looked bad when it happened, Diego said. So we hope it's nothing too serious, that it looked worse than it is. And shout out to Mark Hartman, right? I mean, we talked a lot about Finn McDaniel coming back and making an instant impact. Mark Hartman has hit the ground running and showing why he is a staple in Philippine football. Last game, let's move on to that. The Aguilas Yumac FC taking on Cebu FC. I think a lot of people were riding high with Aguilas because they were on a great run. In fact, Diego was harping on about it last week that they are the hottest team in the league right now, but they went up against the Cebu side that had the answers in this one. So, Diego, were you surprised by the scoreline, and what, if anything, was unexpected in that contest?
Well, I'll just put it out there. My hot take from last week gone because I said Aguilas would
Our
go
friend got
undefeated.
burned, man.
But this is what we actually expect from Cebu.
What was the hot take?
My hot take last week was that Aguilas would go the rest of round one undefeated.
Undefeated. Throw that out the window.
Bro.
Okay, let's talk about the performance.
To be fair, I still thought it was a close match, but Cebu deserved the win. They could have even had more than 2 goals, but I think they had the performance that was really well-rounded. A better performance compared to their other big game performances where you say it was chaotic and they just won it at the end or they tied it at the end. They controlled this match and they stayed comfortable. Noah Ledel is now playing in midfield and he looks excellent coming into what could be a SEA Games call-up. So he's probably playing into that as well. Really good performance from Noah that scored the second goal. And then, just in general, Jaridi in goal was excellent. Cebu will be happy with this because it was a comfortable win against, again, a 6-pointer rival. Yeah.
Claro, your thoughts on this contest?
I left my popcorn at home, sorry. But before I get to it, of course, the Aguilas, they started that game strong. But they were only like, when you look at the whole picture or scheme of things, they're only like 65% of where they should really be performing, I mean, just for example, where I'm wearing the shoes of Coach Frank and assessing the boys, right? But I'm not taking anything away from Cebu because the reason why they were also not at their best was because Cebu did their thing. They had to play defense for a while. First 30 minutes or so, Cebu had to pretty much absorb what the Aguilas were doing. Jaridi did his thing. And then that's when Cebu started pushing.
Yeah.
And there was that goal or no goal in the first half.
They crossed the line?
Yes.
They crossed the line.
I'll say cross the line. I got to see replay. We have replay, of course,
Yeah.
where we were. So that's where Cebu are
It'd
really
be nice
got it.
if the referees could get help on that. If it's something that's glaring, you know what I mean?
VAR?
Just my thoughts on it. Just possibly down the road. If it were to become a thing, that would be amazing.
Hopefully it'll get there. We've had VAR for AFF tournaments already in Rizal Memorial.
Yeah.
We have it in Shopee Cup.
Yeah, no, but we never had it in a Philippines Football League match.
Wala.
Also, the second goal
Wala.
of One Taguig
Maybe.
versus Maharlika, the one that was called offside, that was onside.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
That was
That was
onside?
onside as well, yeah.
Right. I mean, these
So if
types
you have VAR,
types of situations where it could be useful.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm not a big fan of VAR for like the stoppages of the game and the way sometimes it's still subjective, but for those types of things, I think it's pretty useful, right?
Yeah.
If it's anyways, sorry to cut you off.
That's cool. I want to segue there. Also talk about VAR one day. But the thing with Cebu, there were concerns, right? Heading into this game, they were not in the top 6.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been very, very like 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. It's been, you don't know what to expect from Cebu. So nobody was expecting that it would be this dominant.
As much as they went win, draw, and then win in their last 3, that's not really convincing because if you look at their start, right, it wasn't the best. But the thing is, right, you had that phase of Superman Rico Andes where he was carrying the scoring.
Yeah.
And then Papo Corsami started to come. And then now all these guys started chipping in different games. Leo Makiling had that man of the match performance. Noah Liddell and Jaime Rosquillo got to score in this win of theirs over Aguilas where they won, right? Those goals came in the second half. So they're getting that support already. It's not necessarily go all to Rico, all to Papu. Just so happens the defenders also scored here.
That's right.
Yeah, Liddell playing midfield, right? But I've noticed Coach TGR, he likes to 4-4-2, but these guys have been going to a back 3 while attacking. And I think that's the thing. I believe it's Liddell who would move up also. So let's see if they could sustain that. Won't make any hot takes, okay?
big goal for Jaime Rosquillo. He's back. This is going to be a big season for him. It's nice to see him back fit and playing good minutes for Cebu. And just to touch on the refereeing situation, it's good to know that the league is taking steps, as I understand it, to remedy this situations and potentially have solutions, whether it's reviewing player or whatnot. But it's good to know that your thoughts as the viewers, as the fans, as the people around the football community, it's being heard by the league, and they're making steps to address these. All right, so let's take a look at the league standings really quickly. Kaya FC Iloilo still at the top of the table, but having played a game more than those that are rivaling them more closely. Taguig within touching distance at 15 points and a game behind. Manila Digger at 14 points. Dynamic Herb Cebu now coming up in the table at 13th, but they're at 7 games as well. And then look at this, Maharlika, Aguilas, and Stallion just outside of the top 6. And Stallion have a great opportunity to get back into that magic 6, so to speak, as they are a game behind. So it's going to be a great set of matches that we're looking forward to in this coming weekend. And then we've got that logjam at 3 points. Tuloy, Don Bosco Guerrilla United, and Valenzuela PB Mendiola. The last team on the table right now is Philippine Army without any points yet, but that could change this weekend. So definitely something to discuss there. Okay, that is it for our weekend's matches. Let's move on to our next segment, one of our new ones, where we take these cards and utilize them for your hot takes in football here in the Philippines. A fast segment where hosts share bold opinions about the PFL so far, but also Philippines football in general. All right, so you look worried. I looked over. There was this look of concern.
Off air, diba? Natasha was like, "Oh no, I don't have
I'm trying
anything
to
yet."
figure out which my hot take will be.
Who's more secure about their hot
That's why
take?
can you guys go ahead?
Okay, so then I'm gonna throw it over to your side first. Then, Claro, what is your hot take for the week?
Can I just say, if you like it, you can have no cards, man. I didn't give a card to one
Okay,
of your
all right. We're gonna go play on.
Play on.
Alam mo yung
Advantage.
Alam mo yung play on pero may yellow card. Ay, ganun, di ba?
Babalik namin yung play. Pagpangit yung explanation mo. Okay, tuloy.
All right. The league should have an exclusive outfitter for jerseys. So everyone, kunwari, my brand. It's up to them if they want to use the templates of those brands. And then you put your logo, your sponsor. But if you have someone who can design your jersey, or you want things to be a little unique, then you're allowed to design your own, but same outfitter. It's like how the MLS would have their own. And then it's all in the centralized shop, so people can get it.
Right.
There you go. And then it becomes easier to go, who has the best jersey? And then it's all under one brand. And then that brand will help push the league also. There you go. No cards, please.
Okay, guys.
Meron yan.
Who starts? Who
Meron
starts?
yan.
Every person will get an opportunity to
You
put out a
start.
card.
Oh, you start.
You know, I'm a bit torn on this one. But I'm gonna give a yellow card.
I get why.
Just for the sake of, if all the teams have the same provider. Oh, see, the thing is, I also get why. But if all the teams have the same provider,
there's the risk of everyone using template. You get me?
Yeah.
Same template, nag-iba lang yung kulay. The colors just change.
Yeah.
Because I
I
want
won't mention the brand.
If you're undecided,
Yeah.
Diego, Natasha seems.
Yeah, I'm
I
100%
want to see
sure.
I want to see different designs.
Tama, yeah. Hey, I got my first red card.
Red card. Why is it a red card?
This is an easy red. No. It's just a no. It's just a no. First of all, for the teams in itself, they sometimes earn from this as well when they get to partner up with different brands. You know, you want to have the likes of Nike, Adidas, Puma. I know they're not here yet now, but you'll never know down the line. You don't want to turn off these big brands because we want to be exclusive to one outfitter only. I understand where you're coming from, so I feel that there should be a page where you can get from all the different clubs.
Yeah.
But I feel that you're going to
Parang malilimit yung market ng konti.
not yeah,
I get what
malilimit
you're
yung
saying,
market,
yeah.
and at the same time, the creativity of how your jersey can be
Yeah.
will also somewhat be limited. So yeah, for
Given
me,
there's-
that's like
Given there's
red.
templates, some teams might say, "Uy, wag na gamitin natin yung template." No? As
Yeah.
opposed to what we have here. Anyway, at least to pass my homework.
Diego? Your take?
My hot take is no.
Hi.
No yellow. or
Oh
red.
wait, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Second time this has happened. But I see both sides. But I think above all else, I want to see different creativity in terms of jerseys, and that might be a little bit harder to do if everyone had the same provider. So I'm just gonna give it a yellow card,
There you
not
go.
a red card yet.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Pass it back here.
It's my take now, no?
I got
Yeah,
my,
wait lang, Jing pa.
I got my first red card though.
All right. I'm gonna go with a yellow card because I would normally be on the side of like every team should have an opportunity to express themselves. Remember the Euros where they all had the same jersey? Was it a World Cup or a Euro where they all had the same provider and it all looked like a template and it wasn't great? Like you want to have those iconic looks from different teams. Anyways,
Now World Cup for sure.
I don't
Yeah.
mind it at all, actually, but if they show the money. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if the teams are paid out well,
Yeah.
guys, magmukha tayong generic, okay lang, pero binayaran kayo lahat, okay lang yun. Right? But kung, it's not financially a benefit to everyone, or not enough of a financial benefit, then it's not necessary. But the designated merchandise store, that could be done regardless, right? It should be done, definitely, 100%. Okay. From PH Transfers, I think the jersey should have a template for fonts and logo placements, but not necessarily the outfitters. All right, that's a good one. I think there is a general idea. I think the fonts don't have to be the same, but the sizing definitely should be standardized. All right,
That's right.
let's move on to Diego. Diego, your hot take.
I think I thought about this after their game last Sunday. But for me, the best defender in the PFL this season, or 2025
All
even, has been Stephen Hum from Taguig. That's it. That's my hot take.
All right. I'm just gonna say play on. That's a very subjective thing.
Nice one, Jing.
Natasha, what about you?
Let's go to Claro first.
I wish we had. Jing, you and I were talking off air about individual player stats.
Yeah.
No contest if we had the numbers to back it up. But obviously, Diego's coming up with that assessment based on the way he's performing as an individual. But how's this? Okay, I'm like yes, no. At this, I agree. He's a really good player, yeah. But also let goal difference is still a part for me. Yeah, it should come from the team with the lowest goal score.
Yeah.
Goals conceded.
Right.
Yeah.
And right now that's Kaya.
That's Kaya
I
right
think
now.
One
Just 2 goals.
Taguig is 2. They've conceded twice. Has it? Yeah. One Taguig has conceded twice. Is that right?
Double check. Right here, we got to look at it earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
But they're tied then. There you go. Because Kaya conceded against.
That's right.
Don Bosco.
But then again, it's a bigger pool. I'd go Kaya defenders and one Taguig.
Yeah. Go.
Anyway.
Sasha?
Yeah.
I love Stephen, but yeah,
That's a red card, folks.
I think it's Cassandra.
Oh, Marco Casambre.
At the moment, I
Good
mean,
shout.
in terms of like just how they've been playing, the number of fouls given, all that stuff,
Yeah.
or the influence in the game, I'd say that it's Cassandra.
All right, Marco Cassandra getting a good shout today. Please give me back those cards, man. All right,
Card Jegs.
last take. Natasha?
How about you, Jay?
You're
Hey, Jay, you're
Guys,
host.
wala akong homework.
I see you playing the immunity card often.
Right. Well, let's get Natasha in the game here first. Natasha, your take, your hot take for this week.
No, but you said play on. So
Yeah,
you
I
agreed.
said play on. Yeah. Sure.
This keeps happening. Okay. At 3.
Oh, play on daw, sabi sa comments.
So I'll say, I think that upstream, we should have our own man of the match.
Not happy with the man of the matches. Sorry. The men of the match. How do I say this? Have you been? How should you say? Has there been some disagreements on your end with who has been named as man of the match in
I think
some
a
of the
lot
matches?
of the times, not even just one or two. I'd say I'm not gonna, not because I don't think these players deserve it, but there's always like, when somebody else deserves it more,
Right,
in
right.
terms of how they've influenced the game. When I understand though that in terms of, as we mentioned, like the matchcom, they have their own sets of they have a different set of criteria when they do call the man of the match. And respectable because they have to have played X number of minutes. They have a separate criteria. But I think that so that we can have our own sense of creativity, because sometimes you could have just played 2 minutes and you impacted the whole game. And why not be the man of the match, even though you have limited number of minutes played? Or, we may see the game just from a different point of view. And so I think that we should be able to have a different outlet to have our own man of the match.
So, in your opinion, the man of the match should be the person who most influenced the match or most influenced a victory,
Yes.
correct? Or the outcome of the game. Is that safe? Do you guys agree with that?
Play on.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Nobody
100%.
disagrees with Natasha. We've maybe had 1 or 2 moments where we were like, sorry, who was that? You said who? The guy who did not score a hat trick? What? What's going on?
Whoa.
That could be anybody.
Right.
All right.
So I think eventually down the pipeline, we
Yeah.
should have our own man of the match. I mean, we could get it wrong, but
Yeah.
would just be another aspect in case we don't agree with whoever is chosen
Yeah.
by whoever is in charge.
Okay. All right. Well, nobody disagrees. Nobody even cautioned you on this one. Nobody even blew the whistle. Okay. My take for this week, struggling to put this together. The Philippines.
Give me the cards.
Can I hold
I'm so
another card in
excited.
case? You hold one, you hold the red.
I've been on a red spree lately.
Okay. All right. The Philippines has a coaching crisis in terms of the domestic coaches, right? And one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing that we need to resolve right now is, that needs to happen is a coaching revolution in the Philippines. That to have the biggest impact on our game with many things. That's about as poorly as you could word something, but that's basically my general thought, is that we have a coaching crisis and we need a revolution in coaches in order to impact the game positively.
Here you go,
most
Jack's got the card.
Red card. Please.
Wait, are we talking about PFL?
I think the PFL is the highest level of football right now in the country, and the number of local coaches that we have that are performing at the same or higher level than that of their foreign counterparts is few and far between.
Okay, let's. Okay, I think yellow.
Does everybody want to give their cards first, and then let's talk about it?
All right.
I'm gonna say play on.
Play on. All right, Claro.
Play on. Remember, we're still somewhat catching up.
Right.
We
okay.
only got big in this
So,
Just
recently.
I think for me, it just brings up this other thing that I feel that some of the best local coaches in the Philippines are coaching in the UAP and not in the professional league. Just more of on that scenario. That's why I asked you,
Right.
is it the PFL or are we talking about coaches in general? Because I feel that recently, with all these former players or still players, they're also putting up their own academies, getting into coaching at the
Right.
moment. So I feel that we're in the pipeline
Yeah.
there. But the reason why we don't feel it as much in the PFL is because they're in the UAP, where the job security is just, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit higher.
Right? And they don't have the badges that require you to be able to, that you require in order to be able to compete at the PFL level. All of those things are part of the restructuring that needs to take place in order to ensure the best of the best get into the best jobs. That's what I think. And then they need to collaborate more.
But yeah, but I understand where you're, like, 100% understand where you're coming from on the take. So that's why I'll say it. Yellow
All
card.
right, guys. Mostly unscathed on that one, all right? So those are our hot takes
I'm on a spree,
for
guys.
this week. We hope you guys will share your hot takes with us and your comments on our hot takes. From PH Transfers, my hot take is that Cebu would be firmly in the top 3 if they played more attacking football. Yeah, all right. Yellow card, not
Play on,
quite.
play on,
Play on.
play on,
Yeah.
play on.
Yellow card.
Yeah, I'm a yellow too. I think their defense is a big part of what makes them good, but
But you know, one thing that I just want to add to this as well, that I also do believe that because Cebu have the biggest hurdle into playing the games, because they have to take the flight, they're based in Cebu and
Yeah.
playing here.
Tough.
So that is just an additional hurdle for them.
Yeah.
So despite that hurdle, and they're still getting the performances, like getting a big win against Aguilas, they could be higher up the pitch.
yeah.
Playing
Definitely.
attacking football, and of course having to do less travels.
Yeah, you guys?
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
completely agree.
But I like to think they displayed that in the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they got the result.
Yeah.
They played the part, but their defense did its job too. Can't be one-dimensional, as we know.
Right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, PH Transfers, and we welcome everybody's opinions on these hot takes, all right? So, guys, next week ulit, ay hindi, wala pala tayo.
man.
Ibawan nyo muna yung mga hot take
I
niyo,
actually forgot
alright?
the rest already.
And with that, we'd like to thank once again our drinks partner, Thirst. Kick off with savings this football season. Visit the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screens for special discounts. Thirst is the Philippines' only beverage marketplace, so download the Thirst app today wherever you get your apps. Okay, here we go, guys. Medyo papaspasan natin to kasi medyo overtime na tayo, but we've got so many games coming up, and we'd like to invite everybody and remind everybody that all games will be live streamed at youtube.com/wearepfl, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to ensure that you are always informed when the matches are taking place. All right, so here we go. Let's start off with Saturday, November 8th. 3 matches as per usual. 1 Taguig taking on Valenzuela PB Mendiola. And then at 5:45, it's Maharlika FC with another tough one against Cebu FC, who are starting to build a bit of momentum. Then you've got Stallion Laguna back from a week's break, taking on a wounded Aguilas UMAC, who are looking to prove themselves against a top team. Then on the 9th, we've got Philippine Army versus Tuloy. Let's get yourselves ready for this one. Philippine Army are going to have to think this may be their best chance to get points on the board, but will they be able to do it against Tuloy FC, who have been, very entertaining and have shown that they can go toe-to-toe for moments in the game with some of the best teams in the PFL? Will they be able to put together a performance enough to take down grown men of the Philippine Army? We will see. Philippine Army got that victory in the previous time that they locked horns, so Tuloy will be looking to bounce back on that one. And then Manila Digger FC, fresh from making the knockout rounds of the AFC Challenge League, are coming back into the country to take on Don Bosco Garelli FC, who continue to want to improve in the PFL. This is going to be another tough assignment for them. All right, let's jump right in, all right? Triple header on Saturday. Let's get back to those fixtures. 1 Taguig versus Valenzuela PB Mendiola. Who wants to take this one?
I see Taguig getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taguig haven't really scored a lot of goals this season, except for one game against Philippine Army. Do you think it's going to be a blowout for this one?
Yeah.
I'll say yes. I mean, yes, they didn't put in a lot of goals in that win versus Maharlika, but with the way you play,
Yeah.
if you face a team, of course, that's not up there in defense, you'll pay the price.
We were talking about Hartman earlier, and this is the type of game he can just dictate
Yeah.
with his passing range. He could control this match on his own if he plays. And that's why I think it's going to be one-sided. Just a little trivia fact, though, is that if Balot Lutor scores his next PFL goal, it'll actually be his 30th
Wow.
in the entire PFL top flight. So that's PFL, UFL, and Copa. So if I'm kind of hoping that Balot Lutor scores. But yeah, either way, I think this match is going to be one-sided.
Tasha?
Yeah, I think that it's also possible that Taguig will use this opportunity to rotate their squad, give the players on the bench some playing time, build up the confidence of the other players. But I think despite doing that the players off the bench still have that same caliber as that first 11 to make this more of a one-sided affair.
All right, there you have it. All right. If Mark Hartman does play in this match, we'd invite people to just enjoy a midfield specialist at work. It's not always the goals and he does make the assists, so you can put that in his game, but not only the goals that you need to look out for, but a real operator in Mark Hartman is a joy to watch. So we do hope you keep an eye on him. The next match is Maharlika versus Cebu. Here we go again, folks. Fine margins. We expect that this is going to be an intense encounter
Popcorn.
between these two teams. Is Cebu just a little too much at this point in time, or will Maharlika be able to put the pieces together to actually get a result against the top team? I'll start with you, Natasha.
I think that if Maharlika are much more crisp on their passes and they don't make errors in the back, because I feel that against Taguig, the reasons why Taguig were able to convert was because they just took advantage of them having so many mistakes in those passes in the back. So I think that if they clean up their passing, they do have a big, solid chance to get one over Cebu.
Diego, no Jorel Aristorenas. How big of a factor will his absence be for Maharlika?
That's going to be a big miss. He's their captain, so he brings that leadership quality even before his actual quality on the pitch as a midfield player. That's going to be a really big miss. Their midfield has been one of their stronger points this season. Aristorenas, Park, and the like. So let's see how they adjust. They have a week or so to figure out how to formulate their lineup without their captain and without one of their most important players. But at the same time, they'll be feeling that it's about time they take a big game instead of saying for the fourth time this season that we played against a big team and we kept it close. Because if you keep saying that, then it's going to get a little bit redundant. So they'll be feeling that this time it's finally time for them to say, we actually took a big team and took all 3 points. For Cebu, I think same could be said there. They wanna prove the fact that last week wasn't a fluke. And if you want to do that, then you win another big game. So a chance for both teams actually to make a statement. Whoever wins will make a statement to the rest of the league.
It's back-to-back wins now for Cebu, if I'm not mistaken.
Back to back, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because they were coming up that. Yeah, that's right. Because there was a draw that halted momentum. Yeah, but we're talking of wins, right? Yeah.
They're getting their momentum
Yeah.
now. It seems as if they're turning a corner. Do you think, they're at a point right now that is too far away from Maharlika?
Now, I still say Maharlika is still there. It's gonna be that physicality of Cebu, or they'll push the tempo, and Maharlika will try to play their technical game. So we'll see. That's both sides of the spectrum. Which one will prevail? I see a team getting the breakthrough in the end.
I was gonna say the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing, especially with a team like Cebu. I feel that they really come alive, most
Right.
especially in the last 15 minutes of a game.
Right. Yeah.
So there you have it. It might be left late, so don't blink in that one and make sure you stick around for the entire thing. The third match is Stallion Laguna FC taking on Aguilas Yumac FC. Whew, this is a tough one to call, of course. Aguilas licking their wounds after that defeat against Cebu. Stallion, they've taken a breather. What do you guys think in this one, Natasha?
I think that for this game, it's whoever wins this could somewhat dictate who stays in the top 6 and who's out of the top 6 picture. And so these two teams have had such a roller coaster start to this season. Both teams have win-loss moments. So this game would be very important for either team to really put themselves in the right trajectory for the rest of the end of the first round.
They do have a bit of momentum in that they got a good win against Philippine Army in their last outing. Diego, do you see Stallion Laguna having enough firepower, enough quality to be able to shut out the Aguilas?
My only question mark would be, Shock went off injured against Philippine Army, so that could be a little bit of a problem if he's still not back fit. But they do still have other players that could provide that firepower. Kedman has been really good. Turilio has been really good. And of course, Finn McDaniel has scored a lot of goals already after his return. For Aguilas, it's up to them now to make sure that they don't, after making a really good run, they don't lose 2 in a row. So, like the game before this, it's going to be a really strong statement for whoever takes this match. And if it ends with a draw, that will probably disappoint both teams because it means that they both lag behind in the top 6 race.
Claro, the Aguilas, they have what it takes against Stallion on this one?
If it were the Finn McDaniel-less Stallions, I would have given it to the Aguilas. But Finn just is that missing piece in the puzzle offensively. Because when we look back, right, it's everything but the goal. But now they bring in their goal scorer. So there, I see it going the way of Stallion. I think they'll be able to put away goals now. I mean, in the event that, let's say, it's not Finn putting away goals, but it's his involvement up front that could somewhat just give them that push. Others might be able to contribute also. That's how I see it going.
Tasha, one more word on it? Did you want to
I was thinking if I should add.
But now you should definitely add it, because now I want to know.
Why do you have to look at me in that way? Sometimes I'm just thinking.
We can still bring out the cards if you
No,
want.
I mean, I half agree with what you say, but I think that Finn is a player that scores goals against the lower ranked teams. So if he wants to cement himself as really a top striker, he has to score against the bigger teams.
Just putting on a challenge out here. All right, there you go. So that's going to be a great test for both sets of players and the two teams as well. Huge one. You could say a 6-pointer for real between those two as they are locked in the standings as well. 3 points you gain, 3 points you deny to your rival. Let's move on to Sunday, where we have 2 big games. Philippine Army versus Tuloy, a massive one at the opposite end of the table, with Philippine Army really struggling this season. They've only scored 1 goal so far and they've conceded over 40. No points so far to speak of. We've been pretty high about Tuloy, but they've also just got 3 points this season, right? So it's not like they're far away in the table, right? So Philippine Army, is this the time for them to get points on the board? And if so, will it be all 3? Diego, I'll start with you.
Well, if you're in Philippine Army, you'll be saying that this is your biggest chance to finally get those elusive 3 points. And I actually think they're going to really toughen up in this match, especially against Tuloy, who have many qualities, but it must be said that height or physicality is not one of their strong suits. And that will probably be where Philippine Army try to exploit them. It's up to Tuloy to make sure that they don't get bullied in this match. But I think this is going to be a really close match. And I really can't call it at the moment because you have 2 sides that are completely different from each other. One's going to try to play, and then the other one's going to try to out-strengthen, outpace, and out-maneuver the other with their tricks of the trade, as I must say.
They've been throwing some surprises, though. Philippine Army's been playing out the back. They've been trying to connect more in midfield. We might see some surprises in this one. Anything that you anticipate different from what Diego explained, Tash?
Not really, but more of I just want to share my sentiment that I love this season and how it's shaping out to be. That we have the battle at the top of the table, that mid-table battle, but even at the bottom. Like, this is the bottom 2 teams, but I'm so excited to watch it. I'm so excited for it. And that says a lot about the growth this year of the PFL and how competitive it has been from top to bottom.
Claro?
I'm looking at my records actually because they played in the 2024 season, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If my records are right, Army won 4-2
That's right.
versus Tuloy.
That's right.
But the armed forces teams have given us or shown us that formula how to beat Tuloy. And Tuloy, as we know, right, will play that modern game. Armed forces teams, they go old school, it works.
Right?
Long ball, they connect, yeah. So, Army, of course, will bring out their muscles against Tuloy. Watch the Tuloy boys, they're not gonna back down from that challenge. I see it going Tuloy's way though.
Wow.
I see it
wow.
going Tuloy's way, like starving Army of the ball. But it's gonna be a rough game.
So over the course of a year, the development of Tuloy, you feel has been enough to overcome that result of 4-2, that disparity from a year's time. So
I will say,
we will see. We will see. That is definitely a match that we are all very intrigued by. Last up is Manila Digger versus Don Bosco Garelli FC. Don Bosco able to score against Kaya FC Iloilo. Manila Digger, they're on a high. They are on cloud 9 right now. They've participated in the Challenge League. They've made it all the way, unbeaten, by the way, to make it through into the knockout rounds. Do they just come back onto home soil and take care of business here against Don Bosco Garelli? Or is there a potentiality that they might hit a speed bump here on Sunday night? Claro, let me know.
Digger started that wave already, right? You remember the previous episodes I mentioned, Sekou Sisi said they're just getting started.
Right.
Tapos nakita nga natin in October. They just activated Manila Digger mode in October, where they were ramping up already. This is it. They're gonna carry on that momentum. Yeah.
All right.
I see Garelli sneaking in a goal though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see them.
Embida, by any chance?
Set piece opportunity.
Yeah.
You never know.
There's the 2 goal scorers from their game 2 games ago. They're the ones who connected for that goal versus Kaya.
Yeah.
I'll see Digger sneaking in a goal though, but Digger, yeah, they give them a shellacking.
Tosh?
I think that this will go for Manila Digger, but I'm just more interested in just piggying back on what you talked about the Challenge League, wherein there is no foreigner rule, the number of foreigner rules. So during their time playing out of here, they've mostly taken advantage of their foreign players playing.
That is
so
true.
I think that for this game, it could be a chance for Manila Digger to give playing time back to their local players, to the Filipinos in their team. Man, But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The Filipinos in their team to, I guess, boost up the confidence of the whole team morale.
Yeah. You could say that the reintegration, the forced reintegration of some of the Filipino players might cause a bit of disharmony in how they've been playing. You never know. Diego, you think it could become a factor in this one?
Maybe not in this match, because I think the quality is just going to shine through.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, they're on too much of a high right now I think there'll be too much for Don Bosco for this game. Let's see what happens later on in the season in their other big games.
All right. If siguro kung may jersey kami ng Don Bosco Garelli dito, we'd be like, nah man, Don Bosco's got this one.
We don't even have Digger also.
Tandaan nga natin, Jing.
Oo nga, Manila Digger.
We haven't secured the final spot sa championship round natin.
Oo nga.
Sa
Top
Major
6 ha.
di ba?
Ito na yung Magic 6 namin eh.
5 pa lang eh. Who's gonna take the last spot? Ship it now here.
Kaya FC will have no game. They are in Thailand. They are playing BG Patum, so best of luck to them. That is it for our preview for this weekend's upcoming matches. Once again, we would like to invite everyone to support the FIFA Women's Futsal World Cup taking place from the 21st of November to December 7th. So we hope you guys all head out over to the Phil Sports Arena to support not only the Philippines but all the other games as well. But definitely come out and let's rally behind our team on the 21st, on the 24th, and on the 27th. Those matches will be at 8:30 p.m. in the Phil Sports Arena. So definitely head on over there to fifa.com/tickets to get your tickets today. All right, that is it, folks. Thank you so much to everyone who shows their support for the Minsan Football Show. Everybody who messaged in, PH Transfers, of course. The Philippine team is not one of our supporters, but they're going to be in action on the 18th. Is it 18th of November? And that's why we're going to be taking a short break. It's a big one. Philippines versus Maldives. They travel to paradise to take care of business. They've been on a good run. Back-to-back wins against Timor-Leste. Guys, think they'll get the job done in the Maldives? 3 points of paramount importance in this one.
I think that they will.
Yeah?
I think that they've got this in the bag.
Yeah?
I think Bjorn is gonna take care of business.
Bjorn?
It's gonna be much closer now, I think. I remember hearing Maldives, there's Ramadan then, so that's just an extra challenge for their players.
Right.
I'm aware it's over now, so extra challenge. They're playing the comforts of home.
Yeah.
I think the boys will get the job done, though, but it'll be a difficult one.
Super important to get the 3 points, and you never know. There could be a hiccup between Tajikistan and Timor-Leste that could very well be to the favor of the Philippines. But that is it, folks. So much to look forward to in terms of football action coming up in the next week and a half. So make sure that you guys tune in to all of it, and we'll catch you very, very soon on the next Minsan Football Show. Once again, my name is Jing Hamlang. Thank you to Natasha Alquiros Deto, Diego Cordero, and Claro Manzano for being on the couch here today. Thanks, guys. Amazing insight as always. Catch us again for the next installment of the Minsan Football Show presented by Upstream Sports TV. Good night.
Almost hit direct, sorry.